What's up, everybody? And
there we go.
We're back.
I listened to last week's show, and
you didn't do it. No, you didn't.
Promise.
He did it. He said it. He said it.
I will bet whatever.
Yeah.
I was just so excited that you guys missed it. But anyways, welcome to the Week 2 SWOLECAST here on rotogrinders.com. I'm David Kitchen, joined by fellow Millie Maker winner Davis Mattek. We got Peter Overzet and Mr. Tuttle 05, Dan Gasper. Guys, how's it going? Dan, I'll start with you since we never start with you. Let's start with you.
You know what's going on, all right? Feeling a little pressure now that Overzet just tweeted out that he gasped at my terrible take that I don't have yet. So I'm going to have to try to come up with one during the show before we get to that section of the show.
Thought I'd hang you out to dry there, make sure it was extra spicy by the time we got to it.
Peter, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I don't know if people noticed, but Laviska Shenault found his way into the box in his first ever career NFL game. Pants were off. It's a good time to be alive. We're down 100 in the bankroll challenge, but we'll rally.
And Laird had a nice catch and run. It was a big first week.
Laird has a path to success now too, apparently. That Miami running back situation. Oh,
they're
man.
just we have it on good info that they actually are playing Rochambeau for starting running back every week, and whoever wins that before the game gets to play minimum 50% of the snaps. It's a deal they have with the head coaches.
Yeah, Breida kept throwing rock just over and over, and
bad game
really
theory.
work out for him.
Yeah.
I want to just go ahead and start from just the beginning as far as sign up, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be drawing at the end of this show for someone that wins. We'll do it again next week. Not for someone that wins, for someone that subscribes. We'll do it again next week. We're also going to have a listener league. So we tried to do this last week.
Interesting.
So much shame.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we can get 200 people. Just tweet out from our own social accounts. We have enough exposure. I think we got to 135, and that was with us really pushing it. So what we're going to do is create a listener league, and then we are going to give it out early so people can, obviously sign up. And then we're also going to throw in some qualifiers. So last week, if it would have run, which we were only 65 people short, if it would have run, it was the top Scotty Miller team. If you had the top team in the listener league with Scotty Miller, you would get a shirt, TBD as far as shipping arrival. And then I'm not shipping out these shirts, by the way. People think that I still ship out shirts. No way.
No one thinks that. No one thinks you ship out shirts.
Not even
You never have.
And then we had the 3 Bears stacks, and then we had Tuttle. What was yours? Quintus Cephas.
Yeah, let's not worry about it.
I think you had Quintus Cephas.
It was Brian Edwards. It was the terrible take.
So you can either choose ROI and go for winning the listener league, or you can just
bid equity.
use some of these qualifier teams. Yeah. So that should be interesting. We'll get it created and put it in the show notes. So I want people to know that it is there, and we will promote your name. We will do whatever you want if you win this thing. Sign up for it. All right. That's also Rotogrinders-media-swole if you want to sign up and get, I think it's $5 off, $10 off, $5, something like that. Help us out. It's $5. Sign up for it. All right. Overview for this week's slate. Tuttle.
Play whoever you want because there's basically no salary cap.
Is your name Tuttle?
Tuttle.
Play whoever you want because there's basically no salary cap.
Thank you.
Largely, you'll be playing a lot of Cowboys in cash.
Davis, you agree with that take? Cowboys in cash.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb is $5,200 on FanDuel, so $700 more than the minimum. He's $4,700 on DraftKings. Amari Cooper is only $6,300, and just let me tell you, the Atlanta Falcons defense might not matter, but I think the Falcons defense might matter because they seem quite bad.
I'm so shook that Davis is now leading with FanDuel salaries.
I know. I was just about
crazy.
to ask, Davis, how was your week 1 FanDuel cash game lineup story?
Oh gosh.
So I got to say, my lineup was terrible, but I only lost about 40% because you guys are right. It's really just mouth breathers that play there. Like, it's incredible. Like, I played Michael Thomas, who got like negative points, I think.
Oh.
And it just didn't matter.
So the best thing about this is in our internal chat, we literally dropped the FanDuel. Maki Supa, Andrew Wiggins literally dropped the FanDuel knowledge of FanDuel cash games, the recipe to success the last 10 seasons has been to pay up at running back. So what does Davis do? Plays Antonio Gibson.
Hey,
plays Boston
anytime you have to go with an unknown running back, you go for it.
Wait, Davis, is FanDuel 1.5 PPR for running backs?
Only if your salary's below 5,000. It's 0.5 if it's above that. There's a weird multiplier. They don't advertise it very well. It's kind of like Super Draft with the multiplier.
Makes sense.
True story. Was listening to the Gilcast, which you can listen to on the Roto-Grinders football network. That's where you should listen to it. I was laughing so hard in the Planet Fitness at some of, like, Davis was just he was so sure about some of this stuff. And like when he talks about Antonio Gibson, he's still sure about it. He's like this year's Nate Noling. He refused to take the L.
It was the right play.
What was I sure about?
Like Antonio Gibson, like you were like, oh yeah, no, he had a rushing, like we knew he was probably going to get at least 10 touches. Like on FanDuel, he just was.
I don't think
he still wasn't a terrible play on DraftKings.
Yeah, I thought he was
back down. He was a terrible play on FanDuel.
He was not good on FanDuel. I should have played the Dalvin Cook. What was it? Thielen? I don't remember the 67 or Ridley.
Yeah, Thielen was 68 or Ridley was 66.
Everyone got bailed out by Boston Scott because everyone would have played Gibson if Scott didn't open up.
Yeah.
I do want to say before we get into the DraftKings and FanDuel lineups that we put together,
our cash lineups,
our cash quote unquote cash lineups. We're not really cash lineups.
They are cash lineups.
I mean, we played literally the best plays across the board. We played the best plays.
Our 190 points on DraftKings.
I mean, we went with the double tight end stack with Lamar and Andrews, and then Peter dropped the knowledge of Goddard in there. He also put in Scotty Miller. Like, not a bit. It was legit.
And we had Visca on both sides who scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So just trying to figure out how this could have happened. Is there a chance that by later in the week, our minds get so polluted by all of this noise, all of these mouth breathers out there that we get off of the good plays? But by recording Wednesday, when all of us have barely had a chance to even look or do any research, that our minds are clearer and we're going to build better lineups?
Yeah, it could be. I mean,
I don't know. I don't think Davis actually played Le'Veon Bell last week. Unfortunately,
yeah. Davis came with the Le'Veon,
he was bringing it too.
It's a good thing you're boys now with freezing cold takes. Otherwise, that one would have showed up.
And then on FanDuel, we had the Seattle-Atlanta game stack. I played Josh Jacobs, and Davis had the foresight to play Taylor a week in advance. So
he knew the injury was going to come.
He knew it was going to happen. And Visca on both teams. So shout out to us. That's all I want to say. Shout out to us. We don't get
it's
enough.
All downhill from here.
Yeah, we don't get enough down. All right. So as far as the week 1 pricing, I mean, you have all these wide receivers we'll talk about in a second, like in this really easy range where you can fit whoever. So it's like, do you want to pay up for running back, or do you think there's running back value with some of the injuries that happen? Peter, where are you on some of the lineup construction?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in just deja vu of last year because I just see all these Cardinals and my heart starts pounding. I see Christian Kirk at 4,300 on DraftKings. I see this new look Kyler Murray, who is fulfilling the prophecy that we wanted to happen last year. I see Nuke Hopkins with like a 40% target share. Kenyon Drake is cheap. I want it all.
Yeah, I have seen the word sacrifice in relation to Christian Kirk about 7 times already.
I think Reeves started that, right?
If so, then let's give him credit. Lord Reeves, he's the man. So yes, that Christian Kirk was sacrificed in game 1. Well, his price tag is pretty appealing, and that's why.
And by the way, he still almost would have been like 5,100 this week because he had a deep target where he would have walked into the end zone, and it was maybe, I don't know, 3 feet past his hands or whatever. Like he would have had a good fantasy week almost anyway.
Hey Davis, speaking of good catches, I saw you tweet about the amazing catch that Rojo had for Mike Evans.
Well, his
was literally just a regular catch, and Davis tweeted the clip like it was some da-da-da.
Well, I don't know if you watched that game, Kitchen, but earlier in the game, Ronald Jones caught a pass, fell down literally onto his butt, and had to get back up, had to hoist himself back up off the ground to keep running. So really, anytime Ronald Jones stays on his feet while running forward, we're feeling good.
Grading it on a curve.
Watching that game, I'm telling you, and this is the only thing I'll say, those 8th round long gone Vaughn best ball shares that I have not looking so dead after week 1.
Wait, that's actually your take?
Yeah.
Rojo's going to have like 26 DraftKings points this week.
Rojo looked rough. Fournette looked rough. Yeah.
McCoy, they brought in McCoy for comeback
season. Guys, are we shocked? Are we shocked that Leonard Fournette looked rough? Anyone surprised?
Either of those guys looked rough.
Yeah, I'm not shocked either.
Rojo did look bad though. Like if we're going to be real about it, he looked terrible.
I just loved how you were just completely down on Josh Jacobs, pass catching running back Josh Jacobs, and standing Rojo, and week 1 happened. And
Ronald Jones got 19 touches. So if you dollar cost averaged into Ronald Jones, bro, he was fine.
Peter, any surprises for you from week 1 other than what we've talked about?
I mean, I will take a big fat L on Josh Jacobs. ... If this continues, I need a couple more weeks. I mean, the Panthers are going to end up being like the worst defense in football maybe this year. Yeah. So I'm going to hold it out. But yeah, I might be taking an L on Jacobs. I think the Eckler thing on the flip side, a running back we thought was going to catch a ton of passes that wasn't getting used at all, was interesting. And Nyheim Hines too. I think that backfield might be playable from both sides there as well. Nyheim Hines with a really nice pass catching floor. You're not going to get his red zone usage that he saw in week 1 every week, but he's going to be a really nice PPR play.
Speaking of Hines and backup running backs, are we looking at any specific injuries that could heavily tilt the slate, Tuttle?
James Conner. We got to figure out what's going to happen there. I mean, he looked bad before the ankle injury anyways.
I wonder if it even happened before, if he had tweaked it before the game started.
Yeah, he looked rough out there. And then Philip Lindsay as well, who the turf toe thing apparently. Here's the thing, it's early in the week. Opinion may change on this. We have some really, really smash plays at running back where I'm not even sure I want to play these guys, even if it opens up.
Snell on DraftKings, I think is actually probably bad because there are such good plays at running back.
Yeah, I mean, even so, more so on FanDuel, people are going to be playing MG3. They'll be playing Melvin Gordon, the washed up Melvin Gordon against a tough Pittsburgh defense when we have on FanDuel specifically, what we have the big dog at 8,300. We have just really, really good plays. Jonathan Taylor, we already talked about him. He's a much better play than some of these guys. So even before this injury news breaks, I kind of hope we get it, I guess, because I think I want to be playing against lineups that are playing Melvin Gordon. That didn't work out for Davis when he said that a few years ago.
Take my head to heads.
Yeah, that he wants to take Melvin Gordon lineups on, but I think that's the case. I think you want to open up those doors for people to make that mistake.
Yeah, I'd rather play Christian Kirk at 4,300 as my value play than Melvin Gordon at 5,300 against the Steelers.
Right, and that's the thing.
I guess that's why I like
construction.
Yeah, I like
There's
this
so many
week
cheap.
is because there's so many different ways that you can go. I feel like it just seems I feel a lot better about this week than I did last week.
But like even Benny Snell, who I think is a better play than Melvin Gordon, like Benny Snell again or Deontay Johnson, who are you playing at the same price tag?
Yeah. Let me shout out real quick, friend of the show. He's been on the show a bunch. Ben Gretsch. You can find him on Twitter at yards per Gretsch. He has the Signal and Noise newsletter. You can get it for like $5.
Try it again.
A week.
One more time.
What?
Stealing signals.
Stealing signals. What did I say?
Did you call it?
That
Signal
was
and
the
the
name
Noise.
of his old one, I think, was Signal and Noise.
Signal and Noise is the Nate Silver book from like 2015 that everyone pretended to read.
All right. So it's the same. He has the Signal and the Noise in the newsletter. So go support him. There's a lot of info in there, and it's all like retrospective. It's looking at what happened in the last week. And I thought it was interesting because that's the thing with no preseason, we couldn't figure out what was Signal and what was Noise. Like we were starting with blank slates, and now we have to figure it out, and we have to like hypothesize.
Was there much that was surprising though?
Some stuff like Corey Davis. All right, he's like 4K on DraftKings. Well, is that like people will be playing him because of that performance that he had? People will not be playing other players that had a bad game, like DJ Moore. Like you have to figure out like what is legit and what's not. Christian Kirk, another one that was surprising.
I need a gif of Tuttle saying "come on" and rolling his eyes at the Corey Davis one. That was really good.
What about the like snap counts or playing time though? Week 1. I mean, Deshaun Jackson was the one that
Malcolm Brown.
Limited. Yeah, that's fair. Malcolm Brown. Any others?
Well, the Eckler one I thought was surprising, his usage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I agree that there wasn't anything mega surprising.
All right. Taking a look at the top team totals for this week, it's of course that Ravens game. The Ravens game is like, we don't have the late night hammer game, but it's the late afternoon hammer game. Ravens at Texans. That's going to be nice. And we have Cowboys with the second highest team total against the Falcons. And then we have the Bucks with the third highest team total and the Chiefs with the fourth highest. I wouldn't have thought the Chiefs would have fourth highest team total, but here we are. Maybe people are overlooking that game.
Chris Godwin in the concussion protocol.
Yeah. And Brady did not look good either. So having the Bucks above
the all 22 guys actually said they actually beg to differ. The Brady actually looked good throwing the ball deep take has already been emanating out there.
I wanted to hate on Brady, but like he actually had like a respectable fantasy performance too.
He was mostly fine. Yeah. The guy who looked terrible was Gronk. Yeah.
Gronk is dust. He's dead.
The screen.
JJ was finally right.
Yeah. Shout out to late round QB for finally being right on that. Gronk is not a good tight end. All right. Game stacks. What are you guys looking at? Game stacks. I feel like we did pretty well with last week's game stacks. Tuttle.
Well, I guess the interesting question, you mentioned some of the teams we're expecting to do well. I was trying to figure this out earlier, like game stack wise, like Baltimore, Houston. Who the hell are you bringing it back with in Houston?
Fuller and DJ.
And kind of though the same thing with even Tampa Bay, Carolina. Like, yeah, there are guys you can bring it back with like DJ Moore, but are you really expecting them to like keep the game that close? I mean, it will lead to lower ownership, which is fine, but it's kind of just an interesting situation where I think like Baltimore is just going to absolutely smash. I actually think Tampa Bay is going to absolutely smash as well. So it's like, yeah, you can do the bring back if you want with the game stacks, but I'm not expecting a whole lot in terms of the bring back options in those spots.
I mean, I'll keep banging it. I mean, Arizona, Washington football team, that's the game stack right there. You got get Terry
the Washington
McLaurin.
Defense doesn't scare you, Pete?
No, you can get a little Logan Thomas, nice pump play tight end in there.
Yeah.
See, I like that. I almost like that one better.
0.09% owned Antonio Gibson, dude.
He will be. Yeah.
Who's got the stones to tout Peyton Barber?
No. I was considering Antonio Gibson for the terrible take.
Yeah.
I was considering it.
I think Logan Thomas is a fine bring back. I actually love the idea of DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Robbie Anderson as Bucks brings back because, you would imagine that McCaffrey, regardless of matchup, is going to be like 15-20% owned, right? Like in tournaments, you would think. I mean, maybe there are so many good running back plays that he won't get there, but Moore, Samuel, and Anderson will all be like 5%, maybe not even that. And Teddy actually did take some deep shots. I thought that was one of those things where we would just get the lies in the offseason, right? Like you love when coordinators lie to you, but a couple deep shots were sort of interesting.
Did you guys see that video of Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore explaining the Panthers mascot to Robbie Anderson? So funny. Wait, so you guys just go up to him and say, "What's up, Sir Purr?"
You call him that?
So funny.
Yeah. The ownership or the targets in that game, DJ Moore just looked like the rest of them. He may not be the alpha there. Speaking of alpha,
I think that's the bad take, right? Like that's going to be the week one overreaction that people lose money on, is thinking that DJ Moore is not the alpha.
It might be true, but it didn't look like that. I'd say if you want to go with DJ Moore, he's not going to be highly owned at all this week. I'll tell you the SWOLECAST game stack. On brand, everything. Pete, you know what it is.
Titans, Visca.
Yeah. King Henry with the Minshew bringback. The Minshew, Visca, whoever you want to play there. You could even put like James Robinson in there.
Only in Kitchen's distorted worldview is the QB the bring back. Yeah.
No, because King Henry is the play. That's all. It's the only Titan you need to play.
Over under 45 offensive plays for the Jacksonville Jaguars this week.
I don't know. Titans ran a ton of plays and they went hurry up offense, which was unexpected.
So it feels like probably the Jaguars are going to be the team that like randomly showed up week one and then they just lose the next 15, right? Like it just was one of those very random things that happens in football, right? That's what it seems like to me. Yeah. I mean, Minshew completed 98% of his passes.
Peter, were you shocked at how many touches that King Henry got and the number of routes ran on dropbacks?
I was stunned, Dave. I'm sitting here watching Monday Night Football. It's past my bedtime. My jaw is on the floor, and I'm like, this usage, if only someone would have told me this was going to happen, I would have drafted him more.
I knew it. All right, let's talk about quarterbacks. Top quarterbacks that you like this week, Davis.
Dak Prescott. I mean, he's probably who I'll be playing in cash on DraftKings. Probably Josh Allen on FanDuel. Weird. I thought a kind of weird price tag for Mahomes on DK, where he's like halfway in between Dak and Lamar, and maybe that leads to him being like 7% or something. I kind of like that.
Yeah, there is the path as far as GPPs, as far as playing high-priced. The two high-priced quarterbacks with all the value that's out there. So, I mean, you're not going to get stuck with anyone bad with all the value. Tuttle?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can pretty much always look to Lamar and cash. I think it'll be interesting to see if you can get there in builds. My initial lean was kind of the same as Davis, is you want to save a little bit more than Lamar. But like you said, there's a ton of value where I do think you could find builds to Lamar in cash. I don't know, and I don't think there's a specific value quarterback that really jumps out other than Kyler Murray at 6,100 on DraftKings. But I don't know if I want to go any lower than that, really, and I don't think it's necessary in cash. On FanDuel, I'm trying to scroll through and see if there's anybody that stands out as kind of the value play. But I really don't think you need it. So I would kind of, side with paying up at quarterback and cash on both sites.
So we don't have to talk about Tyrod this week, right?
Oh, jeez. It's really tough for me to pay $8,200 for Lamar when Kyler's right there for $2,100 less.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know who the Blitz likes this week.
Haskins.
Oh, does it?
Cardi just likes all of the cheapest quarterbacks. Like that's Cardi's jam.
That was that's my brand. So, but yeah, Haskins 5,100 on DK against Arizona.
He has him as a top 10 raw points quarterback play this week and the best points per dollar play on DK.
Top 10. Let's see. List it.
Lamar, Kyler, Dak, Mahomes, Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Dwayne Haskins. So he's got him over Wentz, Allen, Tannehill, Stafford, Goff.
Okay,
Russell
over Josh Allen is like I don't know if I have a whole lot of issue with most of those, but over Josh Allen is not great.
And Cardi does tweak these projections as the week goes on.
Yeah, they'll be updated.
These are just the baseline. All right. Other quarterbacks that you like this week, Peter?
Yeah, I mean it's Kyler for me. It's hard to get away from that. I think I'm going to have Kyler on basically all of my single entry teams.
You giving away the secret sauce already?
I am. That's the one thing about me is I'm transparent. I share my process with everyone, and I'll never stop doing that. I will never hide my plays from you.
All right.
You wanna watch her grind the film tape that backs up Kyler a little bit?
Let's hear it.
So we saw that Kyler obviously had an amazing rushing game last week, but it's not like they were running designed runs for him.
No, they were all scrambles.
It was all scrambles. Hey, Washington happens to have a good defensive line. He's going to be running around again.
Dude, Tuttle, did you get early access to that all 22? People been tilting on Twitter, bro.
Tape.
Yeah, wow. Look at that, Tut.
It was funny watching both the film and metrics communities freak out. They're like, "Where are my air yards and where's my all 22?
Where's my NFL scrap bar and where's my all 22?"
My scrap bar. Oh, the nerds will get that. I do think on.
Well, that's literally just what it's called.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The nerds will get it.
Kitchen, you said you've actually been taking late night classes for art.
Yeah, the our studio, our shiny, all the art.
Tuttle.
Code Academy.
Do you remember when back at FI, Kitchen was like actually taking these classes, but it was for some like dead programming language that doesn't exist anymore?
Oh, that language still exists.
Wasn't it like SQL or something? Is like what you were learning?
Archaic.
No, it was Ember.js. It's a JavaScript language. Yeah. Much respect to all the devs out there. Speaking of, if you want to be an RG dev, we just opened up a position to help with Lineup HQ. So check us out. Check out the job posting on the RotoGrinders Twitter account if you're interested in that. All right, I just want to throw out there that Ryan Tannehill is a cash game consideration on FanDuel.
No, he's not.
On FanDuel.
No.
Kitchen.
Finish it
on FanDuel.
Kitchen.
Nope. He's not.
I love how Davis is fact checking me on FanDuel against the Jags. Come on, Davis.
Dude, I've been grinding, bro. Should we play on FanDuel this week if you're playing Tannehill? I'll take your games, bro.
Here's the thing. You play James Robinson and then Tannehill on the bring back.
Is the bring back.
All right, let's do the DK lineup. And we're on 3. We're going to present the players that we have written down.
What?
1,
Wait,
2, 3.
I didn't do this.
I don't have. Oh, wait.
Is Higbee on the main slate?
No.
No.
Oh, wait. Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is against the Eagles.
I just want you to know I wasn't ready for this, but I pulled out a notebook where apparently I had written a bit down a long time ago. I prefer Higbee in NFC West tight end premium leagues. So Higbee it is.
I don't have a pen.
I mean,
that's really shocking. Just give your takes, guys. We're supposed to be ready and prepared.
The
and look at you
this way. The listeners hated this segment last time. The writing
well, do you know what happened? We crushed. The lineup crushed. So Listeners can hate it all they want.
Well, I'm drafting number 1, Mike Evans.
I'm drafting number 2, Ronald Jones.
Oh, gross.
We got to. This has to be a Tampa Bay stack.
Yeah, Tampa.
Tom Brady's the QB.
Bay. Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually play along. I'm gonna actually enter this as one of my Rainmaker lineups this week.
You're giving up 2 cents of equity,
Dude. I won't be able to sleep if Rob Riggle scores more points than me. And I've been sending Gronk's girlfriend head-to-heads ever since I saw she was one of the Rainmakers. All right.
That's what they call it these days.
Am I sticking with Higbee or do I get my real pick?
You get your real pick since you guys were not prepared at all. I
tried to clarify this in the Slack and you were just like, I already said that. And I was like,
Kitchen, you were not being helpful.
That was about the qualifier. No. That was about the qualifier.
Okay. No, you weren't being helpful. This is your fault.
Christian Kirk, 4,300.
This is a great team. I think we already have won.
Yes.
Derrick Henry, Christian Kirk, and then
Rojo, Mike Evans, and Tom Brady. We're doing this. It's a stack.
Okay.
Yeah. Ronald Jones.
Who do we want to bring it back with?
DJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter, that was like the most fanboy reply.
That was like
Davis. Well, Davis, when he was touting Robbie again, I'm like, that's chasing. We need to go to DJ.
No, like
DJ,
that was the most like that was like he could have just been on a show called like FF like Serious Hour. Like that was like, oh yeah, I really think DJ Moore is a strong play this week. Like Pete, like Pete being like a real serious fantasy football tout was right there.
That's my DJ. All right. So we've got Brady with Jones and Evans bringing it back with DJ. Yeah. And then Kirk and King Henry. Man, this lineup is hot. We got tight end, flex, and defense left. Tuttle.
You know who's going to have a bounce back week at the tight end position? Was on the field an awful lot, ran a lot of snaps, or ran a lot of routes. Hayden Hurst.
Don't love it, but
paying up to be contrarian.
It's a legit thing this week because everyone's got a 3K tight end they like this week. How chalk is Logan Thomas going to be? Like for real, it's going to be bad, right? The flow chart.
I don't know. Gronk was like the number 3 tight end in the Millie Maker.
And it was incredible. Yeah.
He was that owned.
No, I believe he was the most owned tight end, Kitchen.
Or maybe the most owned tight end.
He looked terrible, man. They ran a screen. They ran a screen for him, and it looked like he was one of the offensive linemen. It was not good.
So we're like in the, let's say we go Packers D, we would be left with like Shepard, Crowder, Ingram, like not a very.
We got to take the JT layup at 5,700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that gives us 3,100 and down for D.
And then the people can just
Peter is way too serious right now. Like no bid player.
Build good lineups now, David.
Oh my god.
Good at DFS is a bit. It's my new bit.
I'm not gonna lie. What's the best? I haven't even looked at defenses yet. What's the
Rams? Rams against that Philly team is kind of appealing.
I don't think there's like a well, the 49ers would be the helicopter play, I guess.
Except no Sherman now. And Witherspoon's concussion protocol.
Yeah, but no Le'Veon Bell. I think the Jets are really going to feel that.
Well, we're not allowed to say what our defense is going to be anyway, right?
No, it's like if we did go that defense.
All right,
I won't tell you the defense.
This as my Rainmaker.
Well, we're going to be splitting $300, my man, because I
didn't enter in the Rainmaker. I went a little bit more high stakes. Entered it in the 20 max play action.
Wow.
All right.
Kitchen just bankroll flexed on us.
Yeah. $3 play action.
We call him Awesemo Dave over here.
By the way, I did that Awesemo bit like a couple years ago. He's just recycling all my jokes. Sad.
Yeah. Running back is like sick this week though, right? There's like an almost in there. There are so many good running back plays that
Is this the Jordan Cooper running back week? Just
play whoever you want.
Play whoever.
I don't want to give Blender any pub on this show, so I'm not gonna cop to that. But
who do you think Rick Road is playing this week?
He doesn't have a DraftKings account. 0% chance.
What's the Jacob Rick Road play of the week at running back?
Oh, that's a good one. So it's got to be whoever smashed. Yeah, it's got to be the Rick Road play
scored a touchdown.
The Rick Road play is you got to max out recency bias with someone who's over the age of 27. So like, who's an old guy who did
Gurley, so it could be Gurley.
Frank Gurley.
Gore, yeah.
Gurley
might smash. All right. So we have, like, I don't even know, like, do you list your top 3? How do you list your top running backs? There's so many.
It's Zeke, it's Henry, and it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think Tuttle disagrees with me
Taylor?
on the Clyde. Well, raw points.
To me, Taylor is just like the best play.
Yeah, Taylor. Will Taylor be the most owned play?
Yeah, Taylor's the lock.
Davis, it didn't take a lot for you to walk that one back.
Here's a good question. What is Nyheim Hines going to be owned on DraftKings, and does it make him like a really strong tournament play?
He'll be owned.
You think? If people are jamming Taylor that hard, it's very hard for me to imagine Hines being over 10%. Maybe that's wrong though.
Game log surfers will love that.
I know, Davis.
Davis
going with the next level GPP play.
Who hand enters their teams though? Like no one does that.
Probably the majority of players.
Yeah.
No way.
You're so out of touch. You are so out of touch.
You're spoiled in the DFS community.
Yeah. Okay, listen.
Davis, your DFS privilege is showing big time right
Okay,
now.
listen. You guys think that a majority of people like go on their app on their phone and go click in the contest and look at game logs?
100%.
All my buddies that enter this tournament.
Yes, you're talking anybody that's not on DFS Twitter does exactly
Literally
that.
Up until like a year and a half ago, I would build all my lineups on my phone at like Saturday night, 6 beers deep. Like, yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but now you have the highly successful
comedy
lineup
hour
show?
insight knowledge.
Okay, then if that's true, then Hines is going to be way higher.
Davis is true.
Okay, then Hines will probably be more.
Here's the thing. Davis's logic wasn't bad in the sense that they're not going to be playing both Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines.
Correct. Yeah.
Here's the chat. I do. Most people definitely hand enter. Majority definitely hand enter. I do that. I hand enter everything. Happens all the time, Davis.
And these are people that are taking time out of their day to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're even above.
Look, I stand corrected, and maybe. I mean, this kind of changes, I guess, how I think about entering tournaments a little bit. I've never had this realization before.
Fundamentally changes how you think about DFS.
I basically assumed that everyone who plays DFS in 2020 is using an optimizer.
It's like less than 1%.
Davis,
it's so much higher than 1%.
Davis, you just said that Rob Gronkowski was the most owned tight end in the Millie Maker last week.
Okay, let me rephrase this. The Millie Maker, I can totally see people hand entering. Like my dad probably hand enters the Millie Maker or whatever. But I assume that like that's the contest on FanDuel and DraftKings that people enter is the $1 million to first place, and then it's just grinders everywhere else. But maybe not.
Davis, I just love how like we're educating him. Like last week, he's like, you know what? You guys are right. FanDuel is a soft place to play. And this week, he's like, I have this enlightenment, this daily fantasy enlightenment where maybe not everyone uses projections and optimizers and the SWOLECAST. Wow. Okay.
Projections and optimizers and the SWOLECAST.
Yes, exactly. You got throwing
SWOLECAST for your cash game lineups.
I got one more here. I've won several GPPs up for life on DFS. I have an optimizer, but I've hand built all my GPP wins. There you go.
All right, let's talk about some a current Arizona and former Arizona guy. Got Kenyon Drake, and you got David Johnson. Thoughts on those guys this week?
Can I
Peter? Peter, let's start with you.
Okay, Peter. Yes.
Wait,
I have
no,
a good
just
story,
get it
though.
off your chest, Tuttle.
I mean, I had a good sweat story that I was just gonna.
I want to hear it. That'll buy me some time to look up some stuff about Kenyon Drake.
So on FanDuel, Raheem Mostert was 6,200. Kenyon Drake was 6,600. Main GPP lineup, I said, playing Mostert. If Tevin Coleman's ruled in, I'm going to put him up to Kenyon Drake, 6,600. I saved the 400. Changed the kit to Kenyon Drake. Mostert scores that 76-yard touchdown pass within like the first 5 minutes, and I was on life tilt the rest of the game.
Could have been a really bad Kenyon Drake game if DeAndre Hopkins did not get ruled out at the 1 instead of as a touchdown.
Yep.
I believe Kenyon Drake has what the kids call been cucked by Chase Edmonds.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Edmonds was targeted more and ran the same amount of pass routes despite playing 30% of the snaps to 69%.
According to our friend Bren Gretsch, if you want to call him a liar, he says Kenyon Drake ran 25 routes to Edmonds 15.
Then
is that in the stealing the noise lineup?
It's
article?
the separating the wheat from the signal chaff column.
Okay, then I guess that makes me feel a little bit better. I thought that I had read that Edmonds ran more routes.
Davis, don't let facts get in your way now, bud. You're way past that.
I mean, Drake is cheap on DraftKings.
But what about David Johnson?
Baltimore bringbacks only, I think. I don't want to play him solo.
Okay.
Right?
What's the news and note on Duke Johnson?
Not going to play.
Not going to
play. Highly
He's
unlikely to play.
Come on, Peter. He was declared out before Sunday's games even started.
Are you sure about that? Do I have to?
I don't think that's true.
By the way, we owe
Davis 100%
an apology about Jalen Reagor from last week.
Oh yeah, we do. However, Sammy Reed shared some sweet text. One of them being that Davis said Miles Sanders was a lock to play, and he was not a lock.
All right. First of all, Duke Johnson practiced today, so all of you guys.
Hey, I didn't chime in.
All right.
Well, I got a bunch of FFPC teams where I want to drop him, so I didn't really want to know that, Pete. I wish that you would not have told me that.
Okay, let's move forward to a wide receiver. There's so many. Oh, we
have not had a good conversation about running backs at all.
Yeah, the top running backs. Let's have this real quick discussion. Henry versus Zeke. Who you got, Pete?
Give me Zeke.
Oh, I mean, surprise.
Zeke on DK, Henry on FanDuel.
That's the correct. Yeah, that's the correct take.
Yeah, I like that game better, and I'll take an L. And I thought Tony Pollard was going to get more involvement, and it was very, very minimal. So I mean, and Dallas actually ran the ball more than I thought. I thought they were gonna air it out more. So if they are going just that heavy run focused and not using Pollard at all, I mean, Zeke's a smash.
As a Green Bay fan, I am shocked that Mike McCarthy has not changed. Just shocked.
Hey, he did go for it.
He was aggressive going for it in Green Bay too. That's not what people said was bad about him in Green Bay. It was that he had Aaron Rodgers and they kept running the ball.
Is let Dak cook our new rallying cry?
Yeah, we got to rally. That's a good rally cry.
All right. Any other running back discussion before we move on?
I mean, we should address Melvin Gordon because the people out there, they want to play him.
Yeah.
I have zero.
The hand lineup people, is that what you're referring to?
I just mean the people. The people want to play him, and for tournaments, I would rather play Ronald Jones, who's going to get all the carries for Tampa Bay at home to Carolina. And for cash, I would rather go cheap at wide receiver and play Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, CeeDee Lamb, or two of them even, as opposed to playing Melvin Gordon against the Steelers in cash.
It's just it is kind of crazy though that this week, because of the other running backs, that CMC and Dalvin Cook will be like the GPP plays.
They will be They will be low-owned GPP plays too.
I can't do CMC.
What did he have? Only 4 targets?
11% target share.
Yeah, it's not a good matchup. He's so expensive. It's tough.
Tuttle said you can't win GPPs with CMC in your lineup.
Hey, look, guys, he's no pass catcher like Josh Jacobs.
I'll take that stance this week.
I wish you would have doubled down. I wish you would double down on your previous stance last week and told us just play Josh Jacobs. That way you can fit in Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Jacobs was awesome.
All right. Wide receiver. We got to move this along. Davis, who you like in that? Like, who's your top wide receiver play?
Oh, easy.
Devontae Adams. Yeah, but every lineup, at least one Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb. Don't build a lineup without at least one Dallas wide receiver on either site.
CeeDee Lamb on FanDuel is just
he's the gold star lock of the week.
He's going to be 40% owned by projections.
Can I give what I was going to have as a substitute terrible take this week?
Sure. Yeah.
My substitute terrible take is that Amari Cooper is going to be mega chalk on DraftKings. CeeDee Lamb's going to be mega chalk on FanDuel.
So you switch it.
You play Michael Gallup.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one that's going to he's just as good of a play as these guys. Had a good market share last week with air yards. He's a smash play in this spot, and he's going to be the lowest owned. So
yeah, I agree.
Smash in.
All right. Deontay Johnson, Davis, does that do it for you at all?
I got to admit, I was short on him from like a seasonal perspective, but he led the Steelers in targets, and he had like a horrible drop, and Ben came right back to him. His
first half was terrible. Fumble, drop, negative points in the first half.
Now, I think the people who want to anoint him the wide receiver 1 for the Steelers over Smith-Schuster are, they're just being optimistic because they drafted Johnson at a good price in best ball drafts or whatever. But I think it's certainly a scenario where this offense should have enough passing volume, especially with Connor nicked up, to support, 2 very fantasy viable wide receivers. Now, I do actually think Kirk is likely a stronger play than him on DraftKings, and that, if Deontay Johnson has, 11 catches, 137 yards and 2 touchdowns this week, like he certainly is in, I guess, his range of outcomes, and Christian Kirk has 1 catch for 4 yards, I'm going to eat it, but I feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah. Let me ask you about some other guys, and this is why that range is so interesting is you got Paris Campbell, who's looking
super
like
strong.
Potentially the Colts wide receiver 1 out there. He's 4,500. You got CeeDee Lamb, 4,700. You've got Preston Williams, who's 4,800. You've got all these guys in that 4 to 5K range. Not really sure what to do with them. Like that's why I think it's interesting. Tuttle, if you had to pick between Paris Campbell, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, who is it?
Kirk, and then Deion.
Oh man.
Kirk,
Campbell. I think Campbell is the best candidate, obviously, to be like 2020 DJ Shark.
I just feel like we saw. I get the whole sacrificial, pawn piece in that game, but like we saw Christian Kirk's floor game, and
I hope people think like you.
Yeah.
Owns Dave.
So maybe GPP. Maybe it's a GPP play, not a cash game play.
What do we think Deontay Johnson's ownership is going to be?
High.
I don't know.
High.
I would just rather take Deontay Johnson than Christian Kirk. I'm just going to be straight up honest with you guys.
I mean, I definitely agree with you, Dave, that Deontay Johnson has a much higher floor. I mean, he's coming off of 10 target game. I'll be interested to see the ownership on that, because I think that's how you break the ties between the Lamb, the Kirk, the Johnson, the Campbell, because all of them are solid plays.
Well, you break it with that, and then also game environment. And what's the game environment? That's the best of the 3.
Yeah, by far the cards.
So early week blitz projections on these guys to tell you how close it is. Christian Kirk, DraftKings projection 12.75. Deontay Johnson 12.72. And Paris Campbell 13.31.
Oh,
So
I have Campbell lower. I bet that I actually have Johnson higher. I want to go look.
So Johnson and Kirk were within like 0.2 of each other, which is just shows you how much of a toss-up it is.
All right, Nuke. Thoughts on Nuke as far as obviously he was the man last week. Davis, lineup builders by hand, they're gonna target Nuke. What say you?
Seems like good for like stacks, obviously. And we needed to mention this. First off, I have Kirk 0.2 better as well. Second off, Logan Thomas, this is a revenge game. He was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals. So we got to think about that for narrative and game stacking purposes. Do the hand builders know that Logan Thomas was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals as a quarterback? Do they know?
They do now because hand builders watch this show.
This is one of the reasons why I had Logan Thomas as my value play of the week on the Daily Fantasy Accuracy Cup Challenge. I had to write an article.
What is that?
Kitchen gave away his free peasant labor to fantasy pros.
Remember when you were gonna get me into this contest? Are there actually good prizes this year or no?
It's a $750 free roll.
The best prize of all is just getting to be associated with fantasy pros.
It's the badge.
What's the first place prize every week?
It's like $200 or $300. But what's great about this expert challenge is that if you look the names, there's like maybe 10 people that have like the experience badge.
The bar.
Yes,
of 80.
I remember this.
And I am the only RG person in like RG, the leading daily fantasy in like information, whatever sites you want to say, has one representative among 80, and it's Socrdave.
I remember
We had to send the best we had.
I volunteer.
Noto was busy.
Those things were the softest tournament. They
were
used to run these like 2 or 3 years ago, and they were the softest.
And I was laughing at some of the plays when I was clicking through the lineups, and then I wasn't laughing by the end of it. But anyways,
yeah, as someone who didn't play Devontae Adams in that contest, I also was not laughing at it.
Smash the like button and the subscribe button. We've only got 31 likes on here. We need more. We need more subs. We only got like 10 subs this show.
We have to get to 1,000, right? For Devin
step it
like
up. Yeah, we got to get to 1,000 before this week's up. All right.
Have you asked Smiz for some of like his pointers for like building a YouTube channel? He'd be more than willing to help.
No. I taught Smiz.
I was gonna just say Kitchen taught Smiz everything he does.
We were DK pros together. I gave away the secret sauce.
Smiz has 32,000 YouTube subscribers.
He's a grinder because he works.
He is a grinder.
I'm not saying that you don't, Davis. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. All right. Other wide receiver takes before we move on.
Play the best plays.
Okay.
After seeing the Seattle and Atlanta guys, other than Calvin Ridley not being chalk last week, I'm like galaxy braining myself to just playing the best plays and not worrying about ownerships.
Don't at me if Christian Kirk bagels.
I don't think I'm gonna have Devontae Adams this week, and I'm already tilting about it.
You can. The Lions are down their top 3 corners. He seems like a tough fade.
He seems like a decent play.
My saving grace on FanDuel last week was Adam Thielen. Like, there's no better feeling.
Yeah, that suck out.
Garbage.
When Sammy Reed and Socrdave combine on a play, you know that there's so much troll equity that goes into it that it's just a lock to get there.
It's the sharp side. Let's open up FanDuel, shall we?
Oh, Kitchen, I already had it open, bud. I stay grinding.
FanDuel.com.
FanDuel.com, DraftKings NFL contest.
SEO.
Those are the kind of tags we need in our SWOLECAST YouTube channel to get it on a Smiz level.
Yeah, that should be our goal. Actually, let's just have Smiz on the show and then just steal
collaborations. Collaborations are so big for YouTube SEO.
Crossovers. Oh, man. All right, let's do it. Smiz, you got an open invite. Let's go with Pete. Since none of you wrote down your FanDuel picks. Not even Davis. Pete, you go first.
All right.
Just
Well,
call me Mr. FanDuel.
I don't have a lot of choices because Davis told me I have to have a Cowboy wide receiver in my lineup. And then Tuttle told me I couldn't do Amari or Lamb, which means I have to put in Michael Gallup.
Well, he just said you can't do Lamb on FanDuel for tournaments.
It's Michael Gallup.
It's Michael Gallup. Amari will still be a lot higher on FanDuel than Gallup too.
So if I could bring in another take here, Colin Drew bigly agrees with you, Tuttle. That was like his big take when we first looked at the slate, was like Gallup just seems way under-owned.
Boom.
All right. So do we want to make a Dak Gallup team?
Yes.
Let's do it.
How popular is Josh Allen going to be on FanDuel? Because I think
he's going to be pretty popular.
So that would reduce the Dak owners. Well, quarterbacks never get that owned anyway. Doesn't matter.
All right. So Dak, Gallup, Peter. Who do you want to? No, we already went Peter. Tuttle. Who do you want to bring back?
No, I get to make the whole lineup while you guys watch.
So. The guy I really want to bring it back with here is Todd Gurley. I mean, he's an awesome play. No, we're going Julio Jones.
There we go.
Julio.
That was touch and go there for a second. You had me in the first half, Tuttle.
The fish cannot. The people. I don't mean to say fish. The people who hand build are gonna love Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, when you say fish
and Russell Gage,
you're like alienating 90% of our audience.
Buddy, I played Chris Godwin straight up over Devontae Adams last week. I'm the fish.
You're eliminating ourselves by saying fish.
All right. Davis, who you got?
So, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is comes preloaded in these lineups. Do we want to try and build a team without Jonathan Taylor?
No, you can play the free squares.
Okay. Well, then I want Derrick Henry, and I'll let one of you guys use Jonathan Taylor.
You just gave me a free play, basically.
Bro, he ran 22 routes last week, career high. Him and Josh Jacobs, they're just owning the shit out of the libs.
All right. Let's just go with Logan Thomas as the cheap tight end. I get it, but we're gonna need some with the four guys we have.
The frickin' revenge aspect. People are really overlooking it.
All right. So who's up? Pete, you're up.
All right. So if this isn't going to involve the Cardinals passing game, let's play Drake in the flex.
Love it.
Who are our two running backs?
Henry.
Yeah.
We just said Taylor. We just said Taylor was a free square.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you picked him. Okay. So Drake in the flex?
Yeah. Little 4 p.m. hammer for you, Dave.
Yeah. So if we go just with the Titans D, we have 79.
But we can get up to Devontae too.
Yeah, we could get up to Devontae.
Let's do it.
All right. Give us a cheap D, Tuttle. FanDuel.
I got no cheap D. Somebody else has to.
Davis, you get that cheap D.
Davis,
I didn't. You got that. I didn't really think there was any super great defensive plays this week, but I was interested in the Arizona Cardinals just because I expect Haskins to take a lot of sacks in this game, and the Cardinals pass rush looked a lot better last week against Jimmy.
Nice little correlation with our Kenyon Drake play. I don't know if anyone heard, but defense with running back, really nice correlation.
I like it with the Logan Thomas correlation too.
Yeah, the defense against your tight end play.
Logan Thomas transcends RB defensive.
Wait, we can't even do the Cardinals. That's
$100
expensive.
Not with Devontae, we can't. But we could go. We didn't have to go with Devontae. We could go with Adam Thielen with the Jonathan Taylor team, and then we're left with 4,800.
I'm doing Devontae.
Play the Ravens D. Ravens, Steelers, Rams, whatever. All right.
So if we go Devontae
Jets.
All right.
Let's lock this in. This is your fantasy
FanDuel cash game.
FanDuel cash lineup in your DFAC entry.
All right.
Bigly.
Let's move on quickly to tight end. Davis, aside from Logan Thomas, who do you like this week?
So in a weird way, I actually think that people are going to go away from TJ Hawkinson after he did well last week because he only had like a 13.5% target share. But if Kenny Golladay does not play again, I have a hard time imagining that the number 8 overall pick in last year's draft, who crushed in college and is this incredible athlete, is going to be out targeted by Quintus Cephas. So I'm very interested in going back to TJ Hawkinson on hashtag both sides.
Bro, let's cool down the Quintus Cephas slander.
Let's put some respect on Quintus Cephas's name.
His 30% reception rate on 10 targets.
All right. Peter, any tight end plays for you?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Mike Gesicki, grown-ass man. Devontae Parker was back at practice, still looking questionable for this week. Gesicki at 4,000 on DraftKings could be nice against the Bills.
He played the whole game at slot, basically. I think he only played like 12 inline snaps. So that's pretty good. Kitchen.
Yeah.
Who is
Kitchen?
your tight end
Kitchen,
play?
you got a tight end play, pal?
I mean, I think on FanDuel you can spend up. If you're not, I think it's Logan Thomas.
I want to play Devontae Adams on FanDuel because I'm probably not playing him on DraftKings, so I'm not trying to spend up a tight end.
And you guys will. I think Gesicki is also. I know, like it's kind of like a gross game, but I think he's going to get the volume there that he needs, and no one's going to be playing him for GPPs. And then the other guy is you're not going to want to hear it because you'll call me a homer or whatever else. But I think that Jonnu Smith is going to. Like they're again, we went over this last playoff season and January season, but they're looking at ways to give him the ball in space. The guy is a freak athlete.
Kitchen's boner from the time they handed the ball off to him and he ran for a 50-yard touchdown still hasn't gone away.
Still erect.
They're still doing screens for him. Like, I mean, I just think against this I think the Titans are going to annihilate. That's the word I was looking for. All right. Let's move on. Any other like high price tight ends? You got Mark Andrews against Houston in that late slate.
Kelsey's
Andrews looking like the tight end one, right, Pete?
You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, he's priced up, but you're still probably getting what? If Kittle's 6,700, you're getting $400 or $500 of value there on Andrews. I mean, he's in for a monster year.
Love it. Love to see it. All right, I'm gonna create the listener league contest right now. We'll put it in the show notes. Let's have our qualifiers. So Pete, what's like who we giving a SWOLECAST shirt to in this listener league?
I mean, I accidentally teased this in the Slack amid the confusion, so pretend to act shocked. But I think that someone, it won't be Dave Kitchen, should send an individual a shirt if they cash with Frank Gore in their lineup.
You have to cash the tournament with Frank Gore in your lineup.
Yep, it's a high bar to clear, but these are really nice shirts, and they will come on time, so it's worth it.
All right. I'm going to set it for 150 entry. I think we can get to 150. And if we don't,
we better.
Peter has there's going to be some sort of punishment for Peter.
No, there is nothing worse. And trust me, I've been down this road with listener leagues in the past. I've done them. There is nothing worse than having to send out multiple tweets on a Sunday trying to fill a listener league.
Brutal.
It will kill your soul. I just want to crawl up in a ball every time.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest, the problem is that Kitchen's trying to get the click-through traffic to the YouTube video by putting it in the show notes as opposed to just tweeting the link straight out.
Yeah, because it's for the listeners, Tuttle. It's for the listeners.
The listeners spoke and they didn't want it.
But we already missed like thousands of listeners by posting it late in the week. So I will take the
L.
True. It should have been the SWOLECAST Isner Eeg, and I will take all the L's.
What's the payout structure? Super flat payout?
150, top 20. Since you went to your Frank Gore, top 20 cash. So not bad.
Is it Rake free. You're gonna pay for the rake yourself, Kitchen?
I think all these qualifiers are paying for the rake because people will be
anybody that plays
playing Frank Gore in their
rake.
lineups. So that's the rake.
What do we have to do to get the DFS Edge rake free tournament hookup?
We have to fill a 200.
Yeah, we gotta have like 40,000, 50,000 more listeners, probably something like that.
Oh man.
All right, Davis, what's the qualifier?
You gotta play Visca. Gotta cash with Visca.
Give me a break. Boring.
We should give a t-shirt out for the top lineup, right? It doesn't have to cash.
No, yes,
it doesn't
exactly.
have to cash. So the
that was
lineup.
Peter's thing. He wants to make it a little bit more.
No, it should just be the top lineup that
was Peter's suggestion, Tuttle. Don't let him do his thing. But yes, you don't have to cash in this
to get the shirt.
All right, Tuttle, what's yours?
Top scoring lineup with Jets defense.
That's boring.
Yeah, I want to give these guys some hope.
Taking the fun out of it. All right. Mine's going to be, I'm just going to put it out there. We didn't even talk about him for wide receiver, but top lineup with AJ Brown in it. No. Top lineup with AJ Brown or Corey Davis.
If this show had an hour and 10 run time,
no. Let's
touting
rewind
Adam
it.
Humphries.
Top lineup with AJ Brown. You got to pick two Titans receivers. That's what it is. Pick two Titans receivers, and it can include Jonnu, cannot include Derrick Henry. All right. So that Frank Gore, Visca, Jets D, or two Titans wide receivers, and the Frank Gore lineup has to cash because Pete is a crazy guy.
Well, no, but I just want to say Frank Gore, Jets D, nice correlation there to double dip on your prizes.
You can get two t-shirts.
There you go.
And if you're the top overall thing, another t-shirt. Make sure you're smashing that subscribe, like button. If you're hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell. Also, we got our own podcast feed. People were coming out like, where's the SWOLECAST? Where's the SWOLECAST? No Disney World guy just yet. It's okay. It's time for Tuttle's terrible take, though. Tuttle?
I substituted it.
He thought he was off the hook.
I am off the hook. I substituted
No, you did not substitute it.
I substituted, yes. Oh my gosh. I substituted it with the strategy of just play Michael Gallup.
No, it's not a strategy. You got to pick a player.
God, buddy, come on.
Michael Gallup's my player then.
Martingale,
Okay.
Bryan Edwards.
Michael Gallup is my player. I mean, it's not a terrible take because he's going to smash.
Martingaling is literally, you cannot lose if you think about it.
I thought you were going to go with Nyheim Hines as your terrible take.
I think I covered that
noise.
for us.
Yeah.
That's how we discovered that people build their lineups by hand. Nyheim Hines taught me something.
Final thoughts. Peter, let's start with you.
Guys.
You're thinking about it right now, aren't you?
No, I just I think it's important for us all to remember that even though we are kind of a high-flouting, elitist, optimizer-loving show, that there's a lot of people out there that do build their lineups by hand. And this show needs to do a better job of catering to those people, of being a show for the people, by the people. And I just want you guys to dumb
it down. We need to
we are
dumb the show down.
We are going to really rethink in the next week how we talk about our plays to cater to the hand builders. And that's my goal going forward.
All right. There you have it. Davis?
I just feel like I learned a lot today. And, I'm really excited for that. I don't know how, being all in on the Dallas Cowboys could ever go wrong. They're a team that always behaves exactly as you would expect them to. So I'm very excited for all of us to, be united in our love and admiration for Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb, three of the most talented individuals in the National Football League.
Leave your terrible take in the comments. We'll give you a shout out next week.
We'll give you a shirt, Kitchen said.
Yeah. No,
best terrible take.
We're already giving away too many shirts. Davis, we got to funnel all the shirt wearing aspirations to that one channel. All right. But I do want to say MPO99, that's the subscriber of the week. You do get a shirt. So hit us up. And we'll be doing this again next week, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Like Pete says, this isn't a show just for sure, there's $1 million winners that listen to this show every week. There are guys that put six figures in action every week that listen to this show religiously.
And they build those lineups by hand.
It's a wide-ranging show. You talk about flexibility, this show has it. So on behalf of the guys, Davis, Peter, Dan, I'm Dave. We'll see you next week on the Week 3 SWOLECAST here on rotogrinders.com.